everyone, It's here. Welcome to a brand new video. It's been a while since we've done this series, but today we're going to be doing a tier list of a bunch of different video game consoles. And here we have my friends Nabjeab and the other one.
Hello. Hello.
Alright, that's great. So what are your guys' experiences with consoles? Like, what stuff have you played?
I've owned 2 Xboxes in my lifetime. It was the Xbox One S and the Xbox Series X. I play that almost daily.
I used to play on the PlayStation 4, then the Xbox One. I think I played a little bit of the Series S. I've had a Switch, and then, just like randomly going to friends' houses, I played a few other consoles.
That's really how I've got most of my experience, especially with Nintendo consoles.
So as you can clearly tell, we're very prepared to talk about this console, the PSP. Do you guys have any opinions on it?
I wouldn't say so.
I think I'd put this at D, because I think I remember it not being that great.
Yeah, just looking at it, you don't like the cut of its jib.
Yeah.
I feel like just design-wise, to me, it just looks like a worse version of the Switch, even though it came out like 10 years before.
It looks like ancient technology now.
Okay, guys, remember, if you're watching this video, that's their opinion, not mine. I'm just gonna guess I put it in there. Alright, now the original Xbox, I own an original Xbox, but I haven't really played it that much.
B tier.
Design-wise, it's very ancient, but I feel like it's kind of cool for the time it came out.
I think
would probably put it at B tier as well.
I think the original Xbox is probably the second best Xbox console.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, yeah, I don't think any of you guys can remember this. The TurboGrafx 16.
Oh,
no idea.
I've actually heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard of it too, but I don't remember any of the games on it.
Yeah, I have no idea what that console is.
Alright, now the PS2, I'm be honest, I think this is the best PlayStation. Wait, that's the PS3, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, forget everything I was just saying right now. I don't think it's the best of PlayStation, but I think it's still really good. I'd say A.
Yeah,
that's, if you put it below A tier, you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, now this one
is
the
Atari?
the Atari 2600.
Wasn't that one of the first consoles?
Well, no, it's not like the first, but it's a very important one.
I believe it was pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, I think B tier.
I think the Switch is an S tier.
The Switch does have some problems, and its launch wasn't very good.
The launch came with Breath of the Wild.
Well,
I think he's talking mainly from a hardware perspective.
There's like a lot of hardware problems with the Switch on its launch, and
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of those problems. Like, it probably has some of the most impressive Nintendo libraries, with you have some of the best of Smash Bros, Mario, Zelda.
I think A because simply for the fact Switch drift, hardware problems. I think A is solid.
Yeah, I'll say that's fair. I think it's fair to put it in A because there are a couple problems it has. First, there's not really as much creativity, more with like the hardware itself. For example, the background, you can only do like 2 options with it, and also of course you have like the subscription service stuff.
And have you seen like the new FIFA games on the Switch? Like they look terrible.
Like Nintendo's usually behind, but they usually use that to their benefit. They're more graphically behind, but that leads to their games being more polished, and they're also a lot cheaper to make. But yeah, I think I'm fine with A tier. Okay, the GameCube.
Wasn't GameCube with like Mario 64 and?
No, that's the Nintendo. It's literally the name, 64. Mario 64.
I think I would put it probably lowest C tier, but...
Yeah, I'm thinking either like C or B.
I think C.
Okay, now let's see.
What is this next one?
It's the Sega Game Gear.
It's
basically their Game Boy competitor. I don't think I've ever played any of the games on there.
No idea.
Alright, now next up we have the Nintendo 64.
Okay,
I think this is B tier.
I think it's B tier as well.
Because it was fairly revolutionary for the time.
However, I don't like the controller that it comes with.
Yeah, the controller is very weird.
I don't like it.
The controller is bad.
I think like the Nintendo 64, there's just a ton of revolutionary games on there. It has a smaller library, but that means that there's just consistently a bit more just great games. There's less shovelware. See, I think it belongs in B tier. I think it's better than the game.
I think so.
Alright, now obviously this is a very important one, the NES.
I've seen it be played a couple times. I can't remember if it's this one or if it's the Super Nintendo. Hold on a second.
I've played a bit of both consoles since I have Nintendo Switch Online, so I have a pretty good idea of most of the games it has.
I think this one was pretty good, but I think the Super Nintendo was much better than this one. I think I'm going D tier with this one.
Obviously, it is very important because the console single-handedly saved the whole gaming industry. So yeah, I think B is good. Okay, next up, I don't think any of you guys remember this, the 3DO.
The what?
3DO?
Yeah, you guys have no idea what this is.
No idea.
No.
Yeah, I mean neither. Now, yeah, one of the other consoles I own is the Sega Genesis Mini, so I also have a pretty good idea of the games on here.
Yeah, I think the Sega Genesis is pretty good.
Man, it's kind of hard because I think they're actually really close in quality to the SNES.
It was pretty revolutionary too, although I would definitely rank it below the Super Nintendo.
I think B tier is good.
No, I was thinking C tier, honestly.
I would say B tier because they did have, at the time, they had some games that you didn't see anywhere else, and if you really wanted to play them, you really had to have a Sega.
All right, guys, have you guys heard of the Ouya?
Wasn't this like the really really cheap
Yeah,
one?
yeah. I think I saw this like $100. It came out like in the early 2010s.
F tier. This was
What?
F tier.
Oh, wait, you actually know about it?
I think it ran on Android, or it had like Android games. It wasn't great. It didn't have any special games on there, any exclusives. It was just like basically an Android console. It was not good.
All right, now we have the original PlayStation. The thing is, I
don't know.
can't see myself putting it below the Nintendo 64.
I would say B tier because I don't really know enough about it, but I do know that it's very important, especially for the gaming industry today.
Next up is the Sega Dreamcast. This was, I think, Sega's last console.
I think the Dreamcast is pretty good.
Yeah, the
I
Dreamcast
think-
got like extremely just like destroyed by the competition, especially Sony. But I've heard like pretty good things about it. I'm thinking probably C, because I think it's probably comparable more to the GameCube.
I don't think since it didn't perform well.
Well, yeah,
I
to
don't
be
think
fair,
it was all that.
the reason it didn't perform well is because of PlayStation and just like how much better that was.
I think C.
Yeah,
I think
C
C
tier.
is
I would say C
good.
tier.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember much about. Oh wait, this is the Sega Master System. So this is
Sega
basically the
Master
console
System?
Sega made before the Genesis,
Yeah, I don't
Correct
know
me if I'm
anything
wrong.
about this one.
like the don't know tier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's.
Oh gosh, I need to actually search this one up. The Sega Saturn. I don't remember what was on this console.
Yeah, I know this one.
Yeah, I know
I've
it, but I
heard
don't
of it.
remember all the
Hold
games
on.
that are on it.
The first thing that pops up is why did the Sega Saturn fail?
I don't know enough about the Sega
Yeah,
Saturn either.
I don't know.
All right, now we have the original Game
Okay,
Boy.
so
I think we can go ahead and put that one in A tier.
Me too. Okay, that's really high, but I guess so. Yeah.
I believe this is the first handheld Nintendo.
Well, no, they have the
device.
Game and Watch. Yeah, but obviously, the Game Boy is very important. You got Tetris, you got the
Yeah.
Mario games.
a whole
Pokemon
lot of
basically like
legendary
doubled the
games.
lifespan of that thing. It honestly really just represents Nintendo very well, because like power-wise, it was very behind, but it just had so many great games that made up for it. All right, now time for a fun one: the Xbox One.
We definitely played the heck out of this console.
All right, so
I
guys,
believe-
what tier are you thinking for this?
I would say
My
A.
personal- I think it's C tier.
I mean, I would.
I could see it in C, maybe even
I
in
would
D
say-
tier. Because, like, remember, wasn't there the whole problem
say
with
C.
that you could only play it while it's online? And
You
yeah,
had to get a
early on, it
360.
wasn't backwards compatible. Yeah,
I mean,
like, it
since-
kind of
I mean, I
signifies a little bit of a
always had
downfall for Xbox.
I always had internet connection. I never really had any problems with it. But I do understand that, like, what's the point of playing offline games if you can't play it offline?
Yeah, I remember I watched a video on, like, E3 from 2013, and when asked what someone should do if they want to play Xbox but they don't have an internet connection, one of the, like,
360.
representatives there said to play on the Xbox 360.
And fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't,
Well,
if you don't like it.
The thing is, they're basically advertising this as just, like, a thing to watch TV.
I also believe it was really hard to like share your games too.
Yeah, this was not
go
a
through a whole process.
This was not a good time for Xbox. Okay, I think the Virtual Boy can safely go in F.
Yes, I think we can all
Yeah,
agree. The
like,
technology
look-
was not
look
there
back-
yet.
I think this is like
It
a
was-
safe F. Okay, this next one, I think it's just supposed to be a PC in general, and I think
That's
you
a
can probably
PC.
put that in S.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I like
can-
consoles, but like, come on, it's PC. It's probably like the most just easiest to use.
That's the Wii U, I
It's the Wii
believe.
U.
Essentially, to me, it's just like a worse version of the Wii.
The thing is, like, the Wii U has good stuff on it,
Yeah.
but they just marketed it really terribly.
I heard someone say that like when they bought it, they mistook it for like an accessory to the
Yeah,
Wii.
that's what everyone
and so
thought.
they didn't.
I
yeah.
think it goes in D.
I
Yeah,
think
it's,
there
it's
were
not
some
like
good games
absolutely
in
just
there.
like garbage, but it just like
Yeah, like
it
I
makes sense why it
personally
didn't
think
do
that-
well. Okay, next up we have the
I would
Super
definitely
Nintendo. I honestly think it could go in A.
Yes, I think A. It's just a super version of the original.
I think it belongs there. Here's another one, the 3DS.
The hardware was not good. We tried to play Minecraft on it. It looked terrible. But I do think that the dual screen was great. I think C tier.
Honestly, I'm thinking of yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think C is.
I think
is a
C
great
I think
spot
C tier is
for-
realistic.
Okay, now we have the
It's
Game
'cause
Boy
it-
Advance.
hardware- yeah.
That could go in S tier,
I like-
honestly.
I don't think it's the best Nintendo handheld, so I don't know if I put it in S tier.
It's
It's
better than the
definitely
original
pretty
Game
good.
Boy.
Yeah, I think
A
A
tier.
is good.
Yeah, I think A is realistic.
All right, I think
Yeah.
the Wii is the best Nintendo console.
Yes, S tier.
I think the Wii at
Well,
most shows exactly like what Nintendo is as a company. They aren't going to be like the most advanced or anything, but they're for sure going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that's S tier.
All right, now the PlayStation 4. Okay, how do you think about the PlayStation 4 in comparison to the PlayStation 3?
I think it was a downgrade, honestly.
I mean, I would still say it was an upgrade because it really surely did last a while, and it was definitely a lot better than the Xbox One.
I don't know if it's as great as the PS3 though.
I think
I-
C
I would-
tier. Actually, B.
Okay, yeah, we're
Yes,
putting
B
the
tier.
PS4 in B tier.
B tier.
All right, now the PS Vita. I think this came out in the early 2010s.
Definitely has a cleaner design.
But I don't think there was a clear reason to buy that over like a DS. Where did we put the PSP?
The PSP is
that
in D
D-tier?
tier. I think it can belong in C.
I think C tier.
All right,
It
guys.
still did
This is
fail.
gonna be the coldest take on the planet. The 360 is the best Xbox console. Yeah, honestly, I think it does belong in S tier.
It had some problems early on, but it's actually one of those rare consoles that evolves and gets better over its lifespan. Pretty
Okay.
self-explanatory.
I agree that it belongs in S tier, but I think you just forgot about the Kinect.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was later on. But like, either way, it was still a really great
Yeah, just
console.
forget about that.
Like with the 360, you can see
like,
some
those were
really
the-
tiny problems start like building up, but you don't really see like any of them start to become like major issues until the one. I'm gonna be honest. I think these next two consoles are probably both S tier. Do you guys both
I
agree
think
that
the
the PS2 is?
PS2 is like peak PlayStation.
Yeah, the PS2 is definitely the best PlayStation
I
console.
think PS2 is.
Okay, what about the DS?
The DS.
This is another console that just like really shows how creative Nintendo can be.
I think it's A
They had a
tier.
lot
man.
of great Pokemon games on there.
There's just like a lot of consistently good stuff, and the double screen, as much as like a gimmick it did really work out.
I would say probably put it at S tier.
Yeah, like I think it's on the same level as the Wii.
I don't actually agree.
Oh.
I think A tier is.
I would agree with that.
I think A tier is good.
I would agree that the DS should be an S tier.
Fine, put it at S tier.
All right. Also, yeah. Here's another thing. In the first two versions of the DS, you could play Game Boy Advance games on it.
Oh, never mind. That's S tier then.
So yeah, like the moment it came out, it was immediately backwards compatible with the entirety of the Game Boy Advance library. And also, I guess since
And I
they're
noticed
both
we don't
not on
have
the list
like
here,
we don't have the current gen.
I know that. That's what I was about to say. Where would you rank the Series S and X?
I think I'd probably put it around maybe B or C because I think the hardware is actually insane. But I think the
Yeah.
PS5 is. I think the PS5 is A tier. There's a whole lot of exclusives on the PS5.
There's not a lot of exclusives really on like the Xbox
feel like
Series at all.
It really just has the same problems that the Xbox One had. Really, all it does is just improves the hardware, which the PlayStation 5 does much better.
Okay, I think the Series S and X is probably like C tier.
I would say C, and the
And
PS5,
the
is
PS5 I
definitely
think is A.
With like the Series S and X
graphics-wise.
and both the PS5, this is kind of like the era of games where they become so big that like they're almost like too big to succeed.
Yeah, but I don't think you can put the PS5 lower than A tier.
I honestly don't know if the PS5 is like equal to the PS4. Yeah, because like Nintendo's doing their own thing. Xbox is just like not really doing so hot. And it almost feels like PlayStation's doing like some of the same problems that Xbox has. I don't feel there's like a ton of exclusives on the PS5 because it's been 4 years since it came out. I think it's B tier.
Yeah, I think B tier.
Alright then, so do you guys want to now rank them between tiers? Alright, so Ouya versus Virtual Boy. I think Ouya is slightly below because like the Virtual Boy is an interesting enough premise, but it's held back by being like of its time. I don't think that Ouya ever had a chance.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, now I'm honestly not really sure what to do here because we kind of just like put the PSP here just by like kind of looking at it.
Put them at the bottom then.
I think the Wii U.
This is tough.
Yeah, it's really hard because like
Of
these
being
are
a game
both kind of
console.
marketing
Like, at
failures.
least
Like the
because,
Xbox One
you know, it had a
treated
lot more-
itself like a DVD player, while the Wii U treated itself like an accessory. And the question's like, which one is worse?
I would say the Wii U is probably worse because really it's not much of an upgrade from the Wii, while the Xbox One, while it does have a lot of problems, was definitely still an upgrade from the Xbox 360.
No, I won't fight on that. I think
So I would
leaving
say-
it there is fine. Okay, now
I don't
C
think you
tier.
move C tier. I don't think you move C tier at all.
I think the 3DS is.
Actually, maybe swap the 3DS and the
The
Dreamcast.
3DS definitely goes to the top.
Yeah, I think the 3DS might be better than the GameCube.
I don't know.
Oh, I would say so.
I think the 3DS had backwards compatibility. Let me see.
If
Yeah,
it
it's
did,
backwards
then that's
compatible with the
pretty
DS.
bad.
So that means it just
Yeah,
has like
so
a lot of
that
games going
definitely
for
goes-
it. All right, now B tier.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff here. What do you think is the best console on here?
Original Xbox.
I would no, it's definitely not the original Xbox. I believe that's the PS. Is it the PS3 or PS4?
I think maybe
PS4 is not top of B.
I think maybe the original PlayStation.
Yeah, original PlayStation, then original Xbox.
I think that's fair.
The NES, I think, is third.
All right then. I think the
You know,
Atari
nothing cool
2600.
for
It's
it.
very important, but like I'd probably rather play any of these consoles over it.
Yeah.
I'll move the PlayStation 4 up a little bit.
Like here.
Move the Nintendo 64 above the PlayStation 4, and then I think we're good.
All right then. I think I'd put the Game Boy at the bottom.
Yeah, and then so keep everything except move the Game Boy to the back.
Hey, what about the Switch versus the PlayStation 3?
PS3 better.
You know, I would move it above the PlayStation 3, even though the PlayStation 3 still was a really great console.
No, I do not agree. I think PS3 is.
I agree.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah,
Deluxe.
move the Switch above it.
I like the DS, but I think it's good on the bottom.
I think the PS2 is also fair where
Actually,
it
no,
is.
I would move PC to the back because it's not really a console.
No. That's a bad take. PC at the top. PC can play like basically any game that's on this
true.
list.
And honestly, I'm honestly not sure if like
PC.
it belongs to the top.
Because obviously PC depends on like how strong your PC is. Because if you just have have a normal PC, then really it's not going to be as great as some of these.
Yeah, like not everyone's gonna have the
consoles.
same PC experience.
Because like, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I have a
guess
gaming
because I
laptop.
guess it's too
but, like,
wide
it's
of
Yeah, because one
kinda
thing we haven't
old.
really talked about like this whole time was price.
A good PC is gonna cut you down at least $1,000. My gaming laptop that I use right now was $750, and it's really even not that great. So really, with PC, you gotta take the price into account, which is
I think
very,
I'd put it
you know,
over the DS
can hurt a
only.
bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I would do that.
Swap the 360 and the Wii, and we're good.
All right then. Okay, we put the Series SX in the C tier. Where would you place it in comparison to these consoles?
Probably over the Vita.
See, I'd probably put it like
Yeah.
I'd put it over the Dreamcast, but below the GameCube.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I think the PS5
Anyway.
probably belongs like over the Sega Genesis, but below the PS4.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right then, so we have everything ranked. All right,
Well,
I'll just
actually,
add,
no.
like,
Phone gaming on top.
oh yeah, okay, that's great.
Yeah, mobile gaming on top.
Absolutely
Oh, yeah.
not.
Oh yeah, YouTube video games S tier automatically. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video.
listen.
If you did enjoy the video, I guess check out some other content. If you really enjoyed this video, subscribe. That's it for now, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.